Welcome to the national briefing for Tuesday, the 10th of March. Coming to you from the great free state of South Carolina, where the pollen has begun and my sinuses are flowing. This is Kelly Nash, and typically I would give you a news story of the day, and then we would kind of discuss that. And this is actually not a news story. This is more of a sad commentary on the state of the liberal wing of the Democrat Party. Not all Democrats are insane liberals. I don't know how they tolerate that wing of their party, how they don't do a better job of separating themselves. How's that? That's a better way. Like if you have on the right someone who identifies as a white supremacist, I think we pretty uniformly as a party condemn them. If there's somebody, the left needs to do a better job, a far better job of shunning the people on their side that are insane. And I hate to report this because he has been one of the top thinkers on the left. He is a man who basically was the architect of the Bill Clinton comeback. 1991, Bill Clinton was flailing around. He was getting nowhere. Early 92, the early primary returns were disastrous for Bill Clinton. And then the architect really went to work. And I'm talking about James Carville. If you're not familiar with him, there's a great documentary on James Carville. Loved the documentary. I think it's called The War Room. Fantastic. Gives you a brilliant behind-the-scenes look at how a very smart man can craft messaging to reach out. And again, I strongly disliked Bill Clinton. Strongly, because I knew even in the 90s, early 90s, before he was elected, he was a liberal posing as a moderate. He was the new Democrat. He was not a new Democrat. He was the same old Democrat. Thankfully, we did have the Newt Gingrich-led Republican revolution there, whatever, in 1994 to kind of balance out Bill Clinton and keep Bill kind of more centrist for the rest of his term. But because if we didn't have that, you would have gotten Hillary care, and it would have been we would have started we would have ramped up our march towards socialism. We're still having the march towards socialism here in the United States. That's a whole different story for a different day. But let's go now to James Carville. On Sunday, perhaps you, like so many other Americans, went to church. You prayed prayers of thanks to Jesus and to God the Father for your health, your wealth, your wisdom, your insights, your marriage, your family, whatever. You maybe had some prayers where you were requesting things on the Sabbath day for the upcoming week, months, years, whatever. Well, I don't know if it's because it was Sunday or not, but James Carville decided to do a podcast. And it gets a religious tone going here in just a second. But it starts off with him airing his grievances. I think he had just been on the Stephen A. podcast, like maybe the day previous. Stephen A. Smith, Dan Abrams, and Chris Cuomo, well-known voices in the media that are also well-known to be on the left. And James Carville's got a bone to pick with all of these individuals.
Let me say something to you, Stephen A., Dan, Chris. He wants a fucking oil. Am I supposed to say, oh, well, you got to give him credit because when he steals the oil and makes some money, he'll put it in Western pipelines. That's the level of the shit that I got to listen to in my life.
Obviously, James is not well mentally. He is struggling. He sounds bipolar. He sounds, I hate to say it, he sounds demonically possessed. That's what he sounds like. Stephen A. Smith told him, you've got Trump derangement syndrome. You have to acknowledge when Trump does something good. You can't just say everything he does sucks. And so that was his rebuttal after the podcast to Stephen A., Dan Abrams, Chris Cuomo, who I guess all three of them he's recently had run-ins with, and said, no, I'm not going to give Donald Trump any credit for anything ever. And then he made up that thing about we're stealing the oil. That's not even close to what's happening. But anyway, this is where it really gets creepy. This is where, I can't think of another term other than he sounds demonically possessed at this point as he explains he hates being fair.
And because we're such moral people that we can't do anything but be fair and tell the truth. You're right. I got Trump derangement syndrome. I hate the motherfucker. And you know what? I don't want to get better. I want to get worse. I want to hate him more. I pray to God in heaven, God reign the righteous reign of Trump derangement syndrome. Pray for me, Lord. I'm your vessel on this earth. Pray for the people that listen to this. We want more. We want to hate the son of a so much that we can't see straight.
That's James Carville. Again, big thinker on the left, architect of the Bill Clinton presidency. And again, if he was a lone voice, that'd be one thing. It'd be sad, it'd be tragic to see a man ending his life. This is, I mean, look, James Carville, what is he, like 80 years old now? I mean, he's near the end, dying very angrily. Just can't stand the Democrat Party, can't stand the Republican Party, certainly can't stand Donald Trump, can't stand where America's heading, because it's not socialist yet. He's very frustrated about that. But he's not a lone voice. James Carville is praying a prayer I believe many on the left are praying. We want to hate more. Think about that. Have you ever hated somebody? It's usually not a good feeling. He wants more of that. What kind of a person pleads with God in heaven to give him more hate? That is the level. So for those of us on the right, when you try to have a discussion, it's pathetic, honestly, to see some of my friends trying to have actual discussions on social media. They're engaging and back and forth on Facebook. I'm not saying that all people on the left are demonically possessed, but there's a bunch of them. Hate is one of the fruits of the spirit of Satan. He's filled with it. You're not going to have a discussion with James Carville where you can actually reason out anything. And that's where so many on the left have gone. You cannot reason. You're certainly not going to reason with them on social media. For God, why are you even engaging with them? Stop engaging with the left. They're going to just drive you insane. It's like, what do they say? Arguing with a pig, you're just going to drag you down into the mud, and then they're going to love it. Don't engage with people like this. If you have somebody like James Carville spewing insanity, you can't try to correct them and say, well, we're doing this for that reason and this reason and that. They're not going to hear it. So don't bother. The only thing you can do is in your circle of friends, if James Carville was your friend, I would say, pray for him. Pray that he's released from the shackles of whatever's got him. But for the most part, don't engage with him politically. If you want to have chit-chats about LSU football or whatever it is that he's into, I guess, that's fine. But for the most part, stay away from those types of people. If you want to help conservative causes, engage with people who are moderates in the middle and explain to them the benefits of conservative policies. How does tax cuts for everybody help everybody? Shouldn't be that hard to explain that. But again, tax cuts have been demonized by the left because they only help the rich. They're helping the rich more than anybody else. Yes, they help the rich more, I guess, if you want to use that term, in the sense that if I give everybody a 5% tax cut, the people who are making $1 million a year get to save more money than the people making $50,000 a year. That's just the way it goes. But in America, you can sing of the praises of getting rid of bureaucracy, unshackling the people who are the creators, who can come up with new business ideas or even just old business ideas and just run them more efficiently, that capitalism inspires that, and that capitalism has taken more people out of poverty than any other system in the history of the world, and that previous generations before the United States of America, everybody was under an oppression of a government, serious oppression. You can talk about that with your friends in the middle. Talk about how the left is pushing us back more towards oppression under the guise of trying to help the poor and the middle class when in fact they're actually hurting them. And you can demonstrate how that works. You can show them numbers. There's just a number of different things you can do. But people like James Carville, and there's, again, a bunch of them on the left now, that is spreading. That TDS, it's a real thing, and it's a dangerous thing. Stay away from it.